Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on my channel, and today's video is going to be a little bit of a taste test video with my Pheidole Rhea. For pretty much this entire colony's life, they've only ever gotten two ways of getting their carbs, that being through seeds and through sugar water. Really all they need is seeds, since in the wild that is pretty much the only way how they get their carbs, so honestly the addition of sugar water isn't exactly needed. But I still give it to them anyways, because why not? You know, diversity makes it great for the ants. But yeah, so this colony has pretty much just been thriving off of those two different types of sugar sources. However, when I went to the store, I ended up seeing some raw honey, so I decided to go ahead and give this a little bit of a gander with my Pheidole Rhea. Honey used to be the main way that I gave most of my ants sugar, but that stopped around about the time when I got my Pheidole Rhea. So, I decided might as well take a little bit of a visit down memory lane of using honey instead of sugar water, and go ahead and try it out for the first time on these ants in their entire life, I believe. I may have given them this when they were a small colony, but definitely not in recent times. Anyways, without a further ado, here is the absolute awesome raw honey. Hey you, yeah, you. If you're liking the video so far, go ahead and subscribe. I try to get out videos every 3 days. Anyways, onwards with the video. With a decent amount of honey being put onto this here tinfoil little cutty thingy, rip-off stuff thing, I decided to go ahead and feed them the honey like so. I really don't know what I'm expecting. This is actually the first time I've ever actually watched this time-lapse of the colony eating honey. So, you know, maybe something interesting will come out of it. Maybe I'll learn if they like it or not. I'm not sure. All I've seen was the first bit of me putting it in, and then me taking it out. So this part here is recorded at 10 times speed of a time-lapse, of course. So, yeah, just keep that in mind with how long it's taking them to eat it. If they do eat it, I think they do. It looks like they're eating it pretty well, honestly. So one thing about raw honey is that it is thick. It is a thick substance, so it is very hard for ants to generally drink it. I mean, they can drink it, but because it's literally just ground up sugar comb or honeycomb, it's really difficult for ants to get stuck inside of it, and honestly, it's just a good way of feeding your ants. The processed stuff, oftentimes ants will get stuck in, so I oftentimes do not recommend getting the processed stuff over the unfiltered, because that way you end up with less ant casualties. This stuff is sticky and mostly solid versus the filtered stuff, which is just sticky and pretty much just water. So now the time-lapse is up to 30 times speed, so we can really watch this in fast motion, I guess. And it looks like they are starting to cover up the honey. This is a often used trick by many ants to try and, you know, not stick in it anymore. But you can see that they are really beginning to cover that thing, both in workers and in their junk. But honestly, the reaction is a lot less than what I was expecting. I'd expect by this point for this thing to be completely covered in workers, because, well, it's honey, and a lot of ants absolutely love honey. But these guys seem to be kinda, I mean, they're drinking it, but they aren't, like, swarming it, per se. Perhaps they just weren't really wanting any sugars at this time, but at this point, I had not given them any type of sugars, besides for their seeds, in around about a week. Mainly because their sugar water reservoir has completely dried out, so they haven't really been able to drink any of it for a very long time. This wasn't exactly the reaction I was expecting, but it is time to move on to our second subject, that being hummingbird nectar, aka sugar water, because that's all what hummingbird nectar is. This is the stuff that I've used for most of the time over the past 2 years of feeding my ants, and yeah, this stuff has worked like a charm. It's a very old bottle, so yeah. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing that I did last time, except I'm going to absolutely miss the first bit, and then get the next one on just barely. Anyways, after a failed slow-mo, which wasn't exactly as interesting as I was expecting it to be, now on to the next test. So as you can see, immediately, the reaction is a lot more potent compared to last time. They immediately ran to it. Now, a little bit of it did end up going off, and oh my lord. Wow, that is a difference in reaction. I waited a whole day before recording this part of the video, so wow. The difference in reaction between the two is very clear. I think we most definitely have ourselves a winner between honey and the hummingbird nectar. This is just... wow, that is a crazy response. So as you can see, they sent out like half of their entire colony out just to drink up these little dots of sugar water. To say the least, they like it. They even sent out majors to drink from it and to guard it, which is something that they did not do for the honey. My game theory on as to why this is, it's probably because this stuff is probably as saturated as you can get of sugar and high fructose corn syrup and all that delicious stuff, making it overall sweeter than the honey counterpart. Although I hypothesized that this was going to be the fact, I wasn't expecting for it to look like this. This is such an extreme difference between the two. This is being recorded at, I think, 5 times speed or 10 times speed. So, yeah, it's pretty impressive. You can see that they are literally just like drinking at the very bottom of it just to get every last drop of that stuff. That is just so impressive at how fast they went for it. Anyways, I am going to now speed it up to 10 times speed to go ahead and show you how fast this really is. And now you can really gauge how much activity was going on between these ants. Like, it is really active, like insanely active at the site of the sugar water. Way more active than the honey for sure. It's absolutely amazing. Like, they even have just majors watching over it, which they didn't even do for the honey. That's the crazy part. So yeah, I think that they definitely chose their favorite as far as it goes with the sugar water versus honey. This is definitely interesting. I hope you guys found it pretty interesting. I'm going to let this go on as I end the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, subscribe if you're new. Check out all the links in the description, Discord server, Patreon, Instagram, all that fun stuff down there. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Make sure to subscribe. Yeah. Bye.